welcome everybody to another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.
Here from the Top 10 show. And Matt, this is going to be a special one because we have a special guest joining us on this particular episode.
For the first time.
Yeah, first time we've had a guest on the show.
We've never done this for Topic Thunder, and we thought we would extend it as thank you for participating in our Golden Ticket show, where today's guest, Zac Butts, came in second place, and we didn't want him to not get something. I mean, he fought through almost as many competitors as Colson did. Colson just bested one more. Yeah. And we thought, hey, this is a nice way of saying, thanks for participating. Thanks for supporting the show. And, congrats to making it to second place. So we invited him on to Topic Thunder today to, shoot the shit.
That's right. And without further ado, let's bring him on now. Ladies and gentlemen, the second place winner, would you say? Second place person?
Sure. It's a winner in our book.
Winner, that's right. Second place winner of the inaugural Golden Ticket Tournament, Zac the Madman Butts. What's up, Zac? How are you?
Hey, guys. More like the first loser, but,
Come on, Zac.
Second place, but first in our hearts. So
agreed.
It's worth something. Come on, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Hopefully this goes better than the finals because I just got my ass kicked, but,
Well, he was a buzzsaw, man.
It happens. It came down to he just knew a few more questions, and in that second round, if you get a couple of the big point values, it's tough to come back from.
Yeah. Absolutely. But
an incredible journey throughout.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah. How have you been? How's it been recovering from the have you had some time away from the tournament to appreciate what you were able to accomplish in the tournament? Are you in a better frame of mind about it?
Oh yeah, that first night, I just got kind of drunk, so I was upset.
I've done that in my life before, so sure.
Yeah. But yeah, didn't watch a movie for maybe a few days, but I'm good now. Okay. Been watching a lot of movies since I've been kind of snowed in here in Indiana.
Oh yeah, how's it going there? Are you guys part of the whole crazy winter storm right now going across the country, or is this just standard Midwestern stuff?
It's pretty standard. I mean, a lot of stuff was closed down Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but we're kind of back to normal now. Not like these people in Texas that are a little bit of snow.
Well, they're the only ones in 49 states that didn't winterize.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, anyway, neither here nor there. Did either of you two hear about the news with Carson Wentz?
Yes. Traded
just saw that.
to the Colts. Hello.
To the Colts. Is that your squad?
Yep.
So, thoughts?
Feels pretty good because, when Frank Reich was with the Eagles, that's when Wentz played his best.
It's true.
Very true.
So, hopefully he can do something because last few years in Indy have not been great with QBs.
Well, Rivers got you to the playoffs.
Yeah, but if Luck wouldn't have retired, I think it's a Super Bowl contender without.
Yeah, but
once we got an offensive line to block for him, he decided to retire. So,
it's so crazy.
Yeah.
But
I haven't heard shit from him since. Have you? Do you know what he's up to? I haven't heard anything.
There were rumors going around that he had a meeting with Irsay a few weeks ago, but obviously that's not true if they trade for Wentz.
Yeah, that's fan speculation trying to conjure nothing out of thin air.
Wow.
I hear he's coming back. I think you're the only one. I know, he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, right? I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, stayed true to his word. He said he was done, and looks like he's done.
Yeah, he hasn't even shown up even to call games or to be an analyst or whatever. He's just kind of gone. But he made so much money, and the Irsay family let him keep that money. That was insane.
Yeah, I think just all the getting hit so much just rattled his brain, I'm pretty sure, and he's just done.
Now are we talking about Luck or Irsay? Because I know Irsay likes to pop them pills.
Yeah, him too.
That's probably why he agreed to it. He was all, oxied out and being like, whatever you want, Andrew. I'm here to have a good time.
In his tight black jeans and studded black shirt, button-down shirt. Pay the man.
Yeah. looking good. Jimmy's looking good.
But I think it makes sense. I think Wentz is entering into a better situation, don't you, Matt? And Zach, I mean, he's got better receivers than he had in Philly. Certainly a better running back than he had in Philly. The defense is set up, and like you just said, they've got an O-line there to block for him. So if any situation can resuscitate him, it's his former coach and going to a team with better weapons and a better situation overall than he had in Philly. So, and he doesn't need to do much, right? You guys aren't desperate to score 35 points to win a game. Your defense is strong.
Mm-hmm.
So if he could just hang and figure himself back out again, could revitalize his career, like Alex Smith leaving the 49ers to go to the Chiefs. It's possible.
Yeah. But eventually the Chiefs said, boy, we need to upgrade from Alex Smith. So, I think the O-line is the biggest key difference, because I don't know that the running back is a monumental improvement, or T.Y. Hilton's getting a little bit long in the tooth, and they're going to have to replace him. But that O-line, if Wentz can stay healthy, that's the big question.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of money free agent wise. So I think Chris Godwin's a free agent. I don't know if he's going to stay.
Oh, yeah.
The Bucks or there's a few other guys.
Yeah,
they need a wide receiver because Ty was kind of not very good this year.
Yeah,
well, when he came back from that weird little like injury kind of hiatus, he had like 3 or 4 straight games of just dusting everybody, and then he looked old again. But memory serves.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's. I think he was like the 3rd leading rusher this year.
Yeah,
and they were splitting carries. He was splitting carries with 2 other running backs. So.
Yeah, and you guys still have Marlon Mack coming back, possibly. Yeah. So there's that. And Pascal, how did he turn out this year? Was he playing better this year than he did the year before?
Yeah, he did pretty well. I like Pittman a little better, the rookie.
Pittman, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they've got
it's intriguing.
It's feeling better than what the Bears situation is. But
oh, dude, he just got salt, baby. I'm glad we didn't get Wentz. So fuck you. I'm so glad we didn't get Wentz.
I saw he didn't even want to go there.
Good. We don't want you. I think as soon as he would walk through any training facility, he snapped his Achilles. He's done. Well, you still owe him $135 million.
I heard a terrible rumor that Sam Darnold is in play in Chicago. I don't know how that works, but okay.
Oh, God.
And Fitzpatrick might come to the Washington football team. I do not want a 36-year-old bearded former Harvard grad quarterbacking us. No fucking way. Give me the ODU kid. I'd rather lose
Heineke. I'll take Heineke.
Yeah, that's
you guys don't want him. I'll take him as a Bears fan.
We just signed him for a 2-year contract, so he's locked in. I'd rather ride with that kid than anybody else that's rolling, unless we get Deshaun, which we won't. But that's a possibility too. Craziness. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to answer some questions from the fans.
That's right,
Matt. That's our job here. And let's. Should we start? Should we get into it?
Yeah. So the way the show works is people send in. There's a special email address for our patrons over patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And whatever they want us to talk about, we have no idea what it is until we click on the individual emails themselves. So it is a potpourri of various topics week in, week out. And I would love it if the very first one was, hey, what do you guys think about the Colts? Well, amazing you bring that up.
It's funny you bring that up.
I think you started the last one. Is that right?
Oh, okay, sure.
I don't know.
It's fine. I don't care.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know why we try and stick to the back and forth, but anyway, so this is from Heinrich Winterland.
Okay.
It says, hey there, John and Matt and Zach. He did not realize.
That they didn't know.
Hope both of you have had a good start to 2021. Since Matt asked for some food-related questions on a recent episode, all right, what are some of the strangest, most exotic dishes you guys have eaten? Personally, my answer would be puffin with blueberries and whale with baked potato as parts of a 3-course menu in Iceland. Okay. Looking forward to hearing your stories. Best wishes from Sweden, your friend Heinrich. Well, which of the two of you would like to start? What's the weirdest thing you've eaten?
I mean, I am not very adventurous when it comes to food. I mean, maybe like octopus or something.
Sure.
That's about it. Haven't really been out of the United States. Maybe went to Mexico once, but really not much.
And you didn't feel like trying the undescribed whatever that is that dude's selling, I'm just going to have some over there?
Yeah, no, really. That meat.
Nope.
Oh, it's fading in and out there for a second.
Snow.
We can go to you, John. What about you?
There was a restaurant we went to, Lily and I did, where we, it was like this rock and roll, heavy metal type little restaurant in this scary part of the UK. She had scoped it out because she's, chef, and she's a very big foodie and knows all about this shit.
Sure.
And she took us there, and it was like there was maybe 5 tables in the entire place, and the food was extraordinary. And I just texted her to find out if she could tell me what the name of the place is so I could look up their menu. But there was such interesting combination of flavors that I never, ever would have put together. And we happened to be there when 2 dudes were on a run. They were doing a live stream for 12 hours where they were eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner at that place and tasting every single dish on the menu. And so they were in the midst of it. So they were suggesting shit to us, and it was just mind blowing. Some of the stuff that came up. I wish I could remember something.
You can't remember one thing?
No, one of the things looked like that shit they served you in Snowpiercer, like that gelatinous black stuff. And I tasted it, and it was not cockroaches or babies or whatever.
It wasn't black pudding or something? Or blood pudding? Or
no, it wasn't any of that. It was something completely different and mixed some things together. So I wish I could remember the name of the place, but she's the one that took us there. But I just don't remember. But that's some of the more unusual stuff I've eaten in the past. I'm sure I've lived a long life, so I'm sure I've tried some crazy shit in my 20s and 30s and on dates or in places that are out there, but I can't remember any that really come to mind as strongly for me. What about you, Matt?
Let's see. Either of you two had rattlesnake. That's all right.
Nope.
Trying to think, like puffin is, I never even thought about eating a puffin. Those adorable birds that just look like anime characters come to life. And some Swede was like, I bet you that'd be tasty on my fork. You're like, all right, you psycho son of a bitch. I have not had puffin. I had once, we ate somewhere where it was sheep, but the severed sheep's head was sitting on the table, and they just had a big stew pot right next to it, and they were making it, and that was good.
No.
Trust me, looking at it. And then Catherine was like, why don't we try this? And I was like, what don't I know about you? This has got to be some sort of Rorschach test. We got to speak to a professional about. But it was good.
Yeah.
I've had like back alley mystery meat in certain countries that was just delicious.
Wow.
But I couldn't tell you what it was. I mean, it was like a Bunsen burner underneath this pan, and it was just a bunch of meat and onions getting cooked up. One specifically I'm remembering, but you could have told me that was horse. You could have told me it was anything. It was delicious, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I wish I was more of a foodie. It's not really in my nature. Although I'm always open to try shit. I'm just not someone who's going to go out and find shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I always default to one of the reasons why we work so well. Those are the things that I kind of hand off to her, and I never resist where she wants to take me, because I always feel like there's something I'll be able to eat something, and so I give it a chance. But it's great. I mean, I wish I could remember all of them, but like I said, I'm not a foodie, so it doesn't stay in my head. Sure. I just knew that night there was just so many unusual meats that were combined with, it was a lot of savory and salt things combined that I was really surprised worked. Some of it had some kind of sauce on it, baked in, and it was just when you hit the fork into it and tasted it, just like was an explosion of different flavors. So I
believe both you and I have had alligator. What about you, Zach?
Oh yeah, alligator.
Possibly. I don't
it's all a blur.
Pretty sure you remember.
I don't know. I mean, maybe in Florida once when I was younger.
Well, what about this? Flip it, the question on its head. What is something that if it were offered to you, you'd be like, I'm out?
I mean, Rocky Mountain oysters.
I've had them.
Oh, no thanks.
I know. I had it.
What does it taste like? I mean, it can't be.
I was young, and I don't really like. I remember eating it. Well, I had lamb fries, which is roughly the same thing, but it's just lamb's balls. And I'm eating it. My dad ordered it, a big plate of it for my brother and I. And he's like, go ahead and try some. Now, this is not in my dad's nature in the slightest. So I'm eating one. It's fried. It's just a big fried piece of, meat. And eating it, I'm like, it's a little chewy, but it's fine. It tastes fine.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, oh, that's a lamb's testicle. And I was like, oh, I was like 10. I was like, oh. My brother was like, oh, really? And he just kept popping them like they were popcorn. Just, that's delicious. And you're like, that's fucking gross, man. That is gross. A lamb came from that.
Yeah.
It's in your mouth now.
Woof. Woof.
Yeah.
Just absolute woof.
But I have had, a variation. I have not had Rocky Mountain, but I've had lamb fries.
Lamb fries. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. What about what's the duck fat neck one? Poutine. What is that? What is the fries that?
Poutine's the gravy they put on fries in Canada.
Yeah, but there's a certain kind of duck fat fries or that comes from the neck of the duck, and I wish I could remember what the name of that was. They had it.
Duck is delicious.
There was a restaurant that had it, and then they stopped serving it because there was like a ban in California about the people serving that kind of food or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember.
It wasn't foie gras.
Yeah, that's it. Foie gras. Yes.
Okay.
Foie gras.
No, that's fatty liver. So.
Oh, okay. Fatty liver.
Yeah. What they do to that is they take it. Exactly. It's a goose, and they force its neck straight, and they put a funnel in it, and they just force feed him until the liver gets super fatty, and then they kill it, and then they turn it. It's like it is good. And then you find out what they do to it, and you're like, it's not that good.
But who fucking comes up with that? That's what I want to know.
French people?
Yes, I can't. When I watch these cooking shows, I'm like, how the fuck do you come up with? I'm going to take this goose, and then I'm going to shove fucking food down his throat, and that is going to make the liver even more tasty. Like, who is like, are you asleep? You can't sleep at night. You wake up and you go, I've got it. And like, well, how does this happen? I don't know. It's crazy.
It came out of the dark ages, and people were just bored for hundreds of years. What about caviar? Have either of you had that?
Oh yeah, no, I haven't had caviar.
Nope.
I have. I didn't enjoy it.
It's too far. I'm not a big fan of fish that much anyway, so fish eggs doesn't make me excited to eat at all.
Yeah, I love eggs, and it's just like, no, it's not that. That's for damn sure.
It's not that.
It's not. But I was also like 16. So who knows? Maybe as you get older, it's one of those things, your palate refines, so you would enjoy it more. But I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. It was just like, I don't understand why this is as expensive as gold.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Gold is ejected from a supernova, tearing itself apart. This is what a fish craps out. And like, it's not the same thing to me.
All right. Should we move on to the next thing?
Sure. Thank you, Heinrich.
Yeah. Thank you, Heinrich. Your body is a winterland. All right. This is from Roberto Surace. Says, hi, John and Matt. I would love to get your thoughts on the following NBA. Oh, sorry. Hi, John, Matt, and Zach. I would love to get your thoughts on the following NBA questions. Do you enjoy the product more in its current state or from previous eras? Personally, I struggle to sit through a full game, especially during the regular season. I do not enjoy the ridiculously high scoring or lack of good defense being played. If teams score less than 100 points, it's usually due to terrible shooting more than anything else. I also find you don't have the intense team rivalries that were prevalent throughout the 80s, 90s, and into the 2000s. Why don't teams embrace rebuilding their franchises? Why do they hold on to players and who have proven that they cannot elevate their franchises to at least compete for a title? I'm a Magic fan, and I know we will continue to be irrelevant, holding on to the majority of the players we have on our roster now. I'm sure you both can relate. Thanks again, Robert Surace. All right, Matt, which part of that do you want to tackle first?
Well, Zach, are you an NBA fan?
Oh, Zach.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Okay. So do you prefer the current era or previous ones?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really born in 92, so I really didn't get to experience the Jordan.
Born in 92.
Yeah, what's that like?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was yesterday, by the way, just so you know.
But yeah, so I didn't get I'm a Bulls fan. But so I like the game nowadays. A lot of threes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I don't technically on some level, defense is just as good, if not better. Guys are asked now to run from the 3-point line all the way down to the rim and back and forth and back and forth. That's why minutes and rest comes into play, because all the former players are like, oh, back in my day. It's like, well, back in your day, if you were a center, you just sat down within 4 feet below the rim. That's all you did.
Right.
And then you ran to the other side and sat 4 feet next to the rims. Like, you didn't have to go out on switches and all that jazz. So I don't know that. I mean, the athleticism of the defense now is much higher. But you're more than likely right. If it's a low scoring game, it's because of poor shooting.
Yeah.
And if memory serves, Robert is in either New Zealand or Australia. So, I mean, you could probably pick a better team than Orlando if you wanted to. It's, but if you've cheered for him long enough, then God bless you. I couldn't imagine being a Magic fan. Ugh.
Yeah, they've only had 2 spikes, when Shaq was there and then when Dwight Howard in his prime was there.
Yeah.
Other than that, you don't really talk about the Orlando Magic other than an underperforming team or a team with one superstar, or one star at least, and that they can't seem to get the job done, and they blow it in certain moments and don't make the playoffs most of the time. Or if they do, it's at a very, very low seed and they get knocked out early. So
yeah, they're always 8, and then
that's the worst spot to be. You get a bad draft pick, and you just get kicked out by whatever powerhouse.
Exactly.
Yeah,
especially in the East. Like, at least in the West, 8th consistently over the past 22, 23 years they're a legit team. They might be able to take a game or two. In the West or in the East, it's like, hey, look at you, buddy. Good for you. You're like, what was the point of this? It's just to generate $1 million per game for the home team.
Right. Well, I mean, you got to look at the progression, right, to where we're at now. The reason we're at now where defense isn't as strong is because most of these kids who come out of the NBA are 1 and dones or 2 and dones. So they're not really being taught the fundamentals of defense as strongly from high school into college, then right into the pros. It isn't until they get to the pros that defense is really taught to them in a way if it works for the team, right? Look at the Brooklyn Nets. That's essentially right now an Olay defense. That is a bunch of red capes, and they're just letting them run up scores. And then, but they just signed, I forget who they signed, who was
Andre Robertson.
Yeah, Andre Robertson, who was a defensive player. So that's their attempt to try to kind of turn that a little bit, because they know they can score. That's not an issue, but it's the defense they're trying to attack in some way. And there's not a lot out there not a lot of players out there that are going to be bought out. Maybe they'll go after Drummond, or maybe they'll go after a couple other players who are going to get bought out possibly to do something.
See.
But we'll see. Right. But I like the basketball that's being played now. I think it's some of the most intelligent basketball I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I love the way I think players come now at a higher level of physical abilities, a higher level of physical shape, and a higher level of knowledge of basketball. And I think that's when I'm watching games, I so appreciate the nuances that's going on and how these coaches are calling plays and counteracting substitutions and what have you. And especially at big game moments in tight games in the playoffs, you see really who's got the talent, who's got the smarts, and what coaches really understand how to get the best out of their players. So although you may argue that defense is not as strong as it was in the past, but I certainly don't want to go back to the time when Alonzo Mourning and Charles Oakley were punching each other in the face.
Yeah.
I don't, as fun as that was for that time, because the 90s was a really fucked up decade. I don't want to go back to that basketball.
Also, there's no hand checking anymore. Basically, the NBA did what the NFL did. We're going to open it up for the offense and favor the offense, because more points equals more eyeballs. And it's a more enjoyable product. That's just, I think overall, the league is much better on average right now than it was in Zach and I's heyday of the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
When the Bulls were kings of the world. If you didn't, it's still the case. If you don't have an apex predator, you have no chance. But back then in ISO ball, if you don't have somebody that can ISO, it's like, dude, your team is nothing.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And at least now it's like, you could do a collection of shooters and potentially the sum is greater than the individual parts.
Yeah.
Which would slightly more difficult. Now, are you going to win a championship? No chance in hell. You still need an apex predator, but you could be frisky night in, night out.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what matters. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think overall. All right. So there was like 12 more parts to this question.
Yes. The other part of the other part was he says, why don't teams embrace rebuilding their franchises? Why do they hold on to players who have proven they cannot elevate their franchise to at least compete for a title? I'm a Magic fan. I know we will continue to be irrelevant holding on to the majority of players. So but this is the thing that's fascinating to me is Robert is of two minds here. And I think we have to correlate this. And Robert, I'm not trying to insult you here, so please hear me out. But you say, well, why we're not getting these rivalries that we got in the past between teams. And then you're complaining about teams that don't let go of players. Well, you can't build rivalries and not stick with the same players, because that's where rivalries are born from, is you feel a pride of being at a place for such a long time that you want to defend that against other people who have stuck in their team for such a long time. So you can't have it both ways. Am I wrong on that, Matt?
No, I don't believe so. And why don't teams do that? Trust me, every team wants to get.
Oh, totally.
But there's only, I mean, how many true number ones are there in the NBA?
Right.
Less than 10?
Yeah.
Genuine number ones. You know, your LeBron's, Dame's, Steph Curry's, like, okay, I trust them to win me potentially a championship.
Right.
It's rarefied air. So as much as your Magic or our Bulls would love to have somebody like that, or your Wizards, I guess technically
at some point,
which I love it. You guys are already, Bradley Beal had to fend off. I'm fucking staying, guys.
Yeah.
So again, it's the same fucking thing.
He's the NBA's leading scorer right now, which is insane. And we're playing better over the last couple of weeks than we have leading up to this.
Yes.
We've beaten some teams. We're up to 8 wins.
That's good.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
For us, that's good.
We've beaten some teams, and that's what you're crowing about.
Hey, I take what I'm. It's the parameters of what we've been presented, and with Westbrook having to sit every other game, it seems like. We don't have Thomas Bryant going down for the year.
Yeah, he's
kind of messed us up a little bit. So I think we can compete, but I don't. A lot of people saying he's going to go to the Lakers or he's going to go to the where else is he?
Yeah, you know who's saying that? Laker fans.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no money for them to go get Bradley. They don't
have the assets. What does Washington want in return that the Lakers have?
Yeah, nothing.
They got LeBron. You want to give up LeBron? Hey, LeBron for Beal? You want to AD for Beal? Yeah. Otherwise, no, thank you.
I'll take AD for Beal. I won't take LeBron.
Sure, of course you would.
With Michael Jordan. No thanks.
That's not. I wouldn't do that if I was the Lakers. Nothing against Beal, but AD's irreplaceable.
Yeah, I agree.
Find me another big dude that can do that stuff. It doesn't exist.
Do you think that Achilles injury is real? Do you think that's a?
It's a calf strain
injury. Oh, calf strain. Sorry. Do you think that's anything serious?
I think AD is prone to getting hurt because he's he's just a big dude. The human body is not meant to have his proportions.
Yeah, true.
So it's unsurprising. LeBron is the anomaly.
Yes. Yeah. My Lord, dude.
It doesn't make sense that a dude that big, that bulky is still that athletic and agile and never really been hurt.
Without an ounce of fat on his body. It's incredible.
It is. I don't believe the HGH stuff that people say, but at the same time, if it came out afterwards and be like, wow, it's kind of believable.
Yeah.
He's just never been hurt. He's 36 and he's still the most feared guy in the game.
But I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't even be mad if that shit came out. I'll be real with you.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't even be mad. Like, for another player, maybe. Like, A-Rod, fuck A-Rod. I'm embarrassed he ever wore the Yankees pinstripes. He's a clown. But like LeBron, if he was to come out, okay, I took the HGH, and then you're like, yeah, but still, your skills were pretty fucking incredible. So the only thing it really did was to help you maybe recover faster, but your skills were
it's an advantage
level. Yeah, totally. But like, you carried the league for so long. I don't think I'd be mad if it came out that LeBron was using HGH every once in a while or whatever. Kobe went to Germany. No offense. I'll rest in peace.
Yeah,
nobody really investigated that platelet.
Well, it's because it wasn't illegal.
Yeah, because nobody knew about it.
You know, that's why you go to Germany for those things. They're on the cutting edge. These are the grandchildren or the great grandchildren of Nazi scientists. It's the best the world has.
Oh, I'm not saying that. That's you saying that.
That's a bridge too far.
Caviar, Mr. Bryant. We have some platelets for you.
Exactly. Where did we get some? Well, let's not worry about such things.
You don't ask the question. Exactly. I don't have to give you the answer.
I love our cartoon caricature of these villain scientists. But yeah, I don't know. You can't. You're right with Robert. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So you either want teams to suffer through and eventually get somebody, or cycle through guys and try and build. I mean, it does kind of suck on some level that guys move so much, but it makes more sense. It keeps everybody else, the owners fought for this situation so they couldn't lock themselves into 7 and 8 year contracts where a dude is spent after year 3. So you can't now complain the guys are leaving too much when he's like, oh, well, you're the ones that fought hardest for this.
Yeah.
So there you go, Robert. I think we answered that.
All right. I think we did too. Anything more you want to add, Zach? Or are we good?
Nope. Well, as a Bulls fan, I just want to ask Matt, you think we should get rid of Levine?
Zach LaVine.
If we can get enough for him, yes.
Tired of him.
If we can get enough for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's holding down the young guys, in my opinion, just because he's taking all the shots every game. He might score a lot, but when you take 30 shots a game, you're going to score.
I think he'd be good 2nd/3rd fiddle on a championship team, but he's not a top 10 player. So you're giving him top 10 player shots and usage rate.
We've got so many guys under 25 that
I know. And Markkanen's coming up under contract. We got to figure out what we're going to do there. And dear God, I hope we're not the cheap pricks we've been the past 25 years. Like, at the very least, sign him and he's still a trade asset if you really don't think he's worth the money. It's, I don't know. That team is weird. I love it though. There's so much hope. It's just like, oh man, I love Markkanen. And if Wendell Carter could stay healthy, Pat Williams looks legit.
I know. I was mad about that pick, and then I saw him playing. I'm thinking, okay.
Kobe White looks good, although I think we need a true point guard. The whole Lonzo rumors, I'm not sure. But
I don't know about him. Ugh.
Yeah, neither do I. But he doesn't need shots to exist within our ecosystem.
Yeah.
But if we could somehow get him, jettison Levine, and then get like a first rounder for Levine, I'd be happy with that outcome.
It's possible.
But there we go. Well, thank you, Robert.
Yep. Thank you, Robert. All right. We're at 32 minutes. Do you want to go one more? Because we kibitzed a bit with Zach at the beginning. Okay.
We'll do one more and then we'll let's close this up. This comes from Jeremy Bowers.
Hello, Jeremy.
And says, hey guys, first time writing in, and I hope to challenge Machine Gun Lemke going forward.
All right.
What were your thoughts on the Kong versus Godzilla trailer? I thought it was badass and can't wait for Kong to whoop that lizard ass. Keep up with the great content, Jeremy Bowers.
Wow. All right. A little anger towards Godzilla.
Exactly. Gentlemen, what did you think of the trailer?
You're a guest.
Haven't even seen it. I haven't even seen the last Godzilla movie.
You could skip it.
Wait a minute. You're fucking snowed in, sitting on your goddamn couch. You can't watch some trailers? For fuck's sake, Zach. This is why you lost the fucking match. You got to watch movies.
I don't watch trailers either, although I have seen this one, but I don't watch them either. Although if that one hadn't been on Twitter, I wouldn't have seen it.
I've heard about it. Just
not your cup of tea.
It looks promising. Okay. I will say that.
Okay.
You're not missing anything with the last Godzilla movie, Zach.
Okay.
I genuinely think you can skip that one. Kong Skull Island's all right.
It's okay. Yeah.
And then the first Godzilla, I know some people really enjoy it. I've got some trouble with it, but I think there's a good movie in there somewhere. So
quibbles, you might say.
Beyond quibbles.
Okay. All right.
But I'm holding out hope for this one. I think the property is good enough to where I still have faith that you could do it.
Okay.
I think the trailer looks interesting. What about you, John?
Yeah, I like the trailer a lot, and I hope it works out that it's a good film, because like you said, it's been a law of diminishing returns, at least in my opinion. I like that first Godzilla film. I'll defend it. And yes, I understand Cranston and all of that. Totally respect that. But I thought it was a good film overall. But Kong Skull Island was like half of a good film. And then it's like the Fast and Furious movies to me. It's like I'm having a good time, but I'm not really having a good time, And so you're watching that in that mindset. And Godzilla King of Monsters was like, let me just turn my fucking brain off completely now and just dive into this thing and not take it seriously. This movie, though, looks stellar from the trailer. It looks stellar. I love the fight in the water, in the ocean. And then, of course, the fight later on. I love that Kong is like kind of being seen as the hero who's protecting this. It looks like Godzilla is going to be mind controlled from maybe Mecha Godzilla. If they bring Mecha Godzilla into this situation, people remember the post-credit scene in Godzilla King of Monsters with Charles Dance. So if there's going to be a Mecha Godzilla controlling Godzilla against King Kong, then we're going to get Godzilla versus Kong in some massive battles. But then eventually you imagine they're going to short circuit that mind control. That's going to be Kong and Godzilla teaming up against Mecha Godzilla and whoever else is going to come out of those gargantuas or monsters, whoever they're calling them. And I'm looking forward to that. So overall, the trailer was stellar and I'm looking forward to it, but I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to be a good movie because it really hasn't been since the first one.
I would posit it hasn't been yet.
That's fair. Totally fair.
But I just don't know how you choose King Kong. If they were really squaring off, like Godzilla can fire whatever that is out of his mouth, for Christ's sakes.
Kong has that axe, as they showed in the trailer, that can like absorb that energy and put it back onto Godzilla.
Okay, but there were medieval times and your village bruiser has an axe, and then here comes this dude that can fire laser stuff out of his mouth. You tell me you're not going to go, laser guy is probably going to win this.
Well, is it a magic axe? That's what I'm asking. Is it a magic axe or a regular
axe? Is Kong's a magic axe?
It looks like a magic axe. He's able to absorb the energy of Godzilla's whatever that is coming out of his mouth.
Maybe I saw a different trailer
turn it back
than you.
on him. No, it's at near the end. He grabs it and
is
boom.
It?
Yeah.
Wow. Somehow that escapes me.
No worries. Let's watch it right now. Let's put it on the screen.
That sounds like part and parcel for this series. No, but the axe is magic.
You're getting it all wrong, man. There's magic in the axe, man.
Oh God, this fucking series, man. I wanted it to be good.
Yeah.
It's been a fumble every time. Sometimes it's been a fumble into the end zone for safety. You're like, what are we fucking doing?
How much farther do we have to go here?
Oh yeah. I hope it's good though. It's a great premise.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Just for stupid, fun that is geared towards dudes.
Yeah.
Or anybody that likes mindless action. It's like this is pretty excellent.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, there we go. That's that was who was that? That was Jeremy Bowers. Thank you, Jeremy, for your question. Thank you so much. Thank you to Heinrich Winterlin and Robert Surasse for their questions today. And most of all, thanks to Zac Butts for coming on as our guest.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Great consolation prize for getting whooped.
Well, we didn't want you to walk away fully disheveled. There's a little something here, some sort of glimmer of enjoyment in this entire process.
Yeah.
Bittersweet, but it was good seeing you again.
Yep. If you're doing this again, I'm coming back. I'm gonna actually watch some movies.
That might be a good idea,
we'll
weed through the questions for the first time ever and then give you a primer on what movies to watch.
Thank you. Yes, that'd be great.
Not a problem. And then we'll act surprised. Oh, look at this. Did you see this Bond question? This looks like fun.
We're ready to believe you.
What if Bond had a magic axe? All right, well, this seems derivative of another question, but okay.
Well, where can they find you, Zach? And do you have anything to plug? Do you have a YouTube channel or anything you want to plug here?
Nope, not really. I don't really post much of anything, just casual looker of other people's stuff. So
awesome.
All right.
Casual looker. All right.
I lurk on certain platforms. I lurk and don't contribute as well.
Yeah, hide in the background.
Exactly. Certain things I do, other things I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, let's let you go, man. Thanks so much, Zach. Thanks for being a part of the show. Much love to you, brother. All right. Oh, no, wrong one. That's the wrong one. Get out of here. All right. That was my bad. All right, Matt. Well, another Topic Thunder in the books. It was great to have Zac Butts on. It's great to have everybody who was a part of the Golden Ticket tournament overall, man. But it was great meeting Zac. What a nice, genuinely awesome dude.
Yeah. And in the near future, we're going to have Blair on as a thank you for all the help that he gave us onto a Topic Thunder.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that.
If we can catch him somewhere.
If we can catch him. Well, it's he can't do the next week's, but potentially the week after. So who knows? He's got to throw the NSA off. But yeah, thanks to Zac and everybody that supports us over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And be on the lookout next week for the main show where we're doing shout outs. And we've got the Boss Hog topic. And we enjoyed the live show so much that looks like we'll probably be doing those going forward in the future. So please join us over at Patreon. For $5 and up, you can submit for Topic Thunder here. But for $10 and up, you can join us on the live show. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Nost.
And you can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And of course, I got a YouTube channel as well. Come and follow me there, youtube.com/John Roca Says. But of course, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. If you're listening to us on the podcast feed, we would appreciate that very, very much. All right. Much love to everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.